Hello, treasure. I have another story for you today. This one is Winnie and Wilbur and the Amazing Pumpkin. Are you ready? Winnie the Witch ate lots of vegetables. She liked broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and parsnips. She really liked peas, carrots, beans, potatoes, and spinach. But she loved pumpkins most of all. You know, those bright orange, big vegetables that grow on the ground. She loved pumpkin soup, pumpkin pie, and pumpkin tarts with pumpkin seeds on top. But most of all, she loved roast pumpkin. Wilbur, her big black cat, he liked pumpkin soup, especially if it had lots of cream in it. Every Saturday morning, Winnie would go with Wilbur to the market. They would jump on the broomstick and fly off. Wilbur would jump onto her shoulder and they would zoom off to the farmer's market to buy their vegetables every week. That was easy. But, oh dear, it wasn't so easy coming home. It's very hard to balance on a broomstick with a cat, pumpkins, and lots of other vegetables. Whoops! Brussels sprouts and tomatoes rained down from the sky onto the market. Splat! Squelch! Oh dear. Blithering broomstick, shouted Winnie. But then she had an idea. I can grow my own vegetables. So Winnie dug herself a bit of a vegetable patch in her garden, and Wilbur helped her too. She planted lots and lots of vegetables. She watered the plants and pulled up the weeds, and Wilbur helped her too. But the plants grew very slowly, and when they did, the caterpillars, the snails, and the rabbits ate them. Oh, said Winnie, gardening is such hard work. I know, I'll try a spell and help my garden to grow. So she took her magic wand. Here's mine. This is my magic wand in its velvet sleeve. This is a good wand because it's got a crystal near the end, so it makes the spells more powerful. So Winnie took her magic wand, woohoo, and of course she shouted, "Abracadabra!" Oh yes, she'd made the spell, but nothing happened. Oh dear, what is wrong? Bother, cried Winnie. That didn't work. I'll have to go and look in my big book of spells. So Winnie went inside to look for her big book of spells. Here's mine. So she looked through her book of spells. Yes, here we are. Making plants grow. This is the one. So she took the bookmark, put it in the page, and that was what she would need. So she went outside, and before she had a chance to do anything with her wand, things began to happen. The spell started to work, and before she could even get to the door, something had happened. Inside it was very dark. Then Wilma tripped over Wilbur. Meow! Cried Wilbur. Oh, I'm sorry, Winnie said. It's so dark, I didn't see you there. There must be a storm on the way. She looked out of the window. It wasn't a storm. It was Winnie's garden. The vegetables were growing so fast, they covered all the windows. I'd better go out and stop the spell, Winnie said. But the door wouldn't open. An enormous cabbage was in the way. Winnie rushed upstairs, climbed out of the bathroom window and slid down a giant beanstalk. It's a bit like Jack and the Beanstalk, isn't it? Do you know that one? Wilbur climbed down behind her. This is fun, he thought, sliding down the beanstalk, until he met a giant hairy caterpillar. Yow! All his fur stood up on end, even on his tail. He got out his claws and yowled so loudly to try to scare the caterpillar. Eventually he slid past the caterpillar and left it behind. Everything in Winnie's garden was enormous, gigantic and stupendous. A beanstalk was growing up into the clouds. The cabbages were as big as clouds. The rabbits were bigger than cows. An immense pumpkin vine was curling around Winnie's house. And there on the roof was a huge pumpkin. Oh no, thought Winnie. The pumpkin will squash my house if it grows any bigger. She waved her magic wand and shouted, "Abra!" Everything went still for a moment before she could say or do anything else. Crash! The giant pumpkin crashed to the ground. Winnie's enormous, stupendous garden shrank back to the way it was before, but the pumpkin that had broken off the vine was still as massive, monstrous, amazingly large as it was before. Winnie chopped a doorway into the pumpkin. She made pumpkin pie, pumpkin tart, pumpkin soup with cream for Wilbur, and an enormous dish of roast pumpkin. But there was still so much pumpkin left. So she put a sign up at the gate, "Free pumpkin, help yourself." And all the neighbours came with their bowls and baskets. Some even came with wheelbarrows. And soon the pumpkin shell was empty. "Phew, that's a relief," said Winnie. "But what shall I do with the pumpkin shell?" wondered Winnie. "It would make a good house, but I already have a nice house." One of my friends once changed a pumpkin into a coach, but that was for a special occasion, and she had horses to pull the coach. The horses might be a problem here. Then Winnie had a wonderful idea. "Yes," she said, "that's exactly what it looks like. Perfect, of course." She took her wand and she waved her magic wand, stamped her foot 3 times and shouted the magic word. Are you ready? Abracadabra. And there in Winnie's garden was a bright orange helicopter. Oh my, that looks amazing. I love orange, so I'm wearing orange today. So now when Winnie and Wilbur go to the market every week, Winnie can buy as many pumpkins as she likes and as many other vegetables as they can eat. And they fly home in the helicopter, and it's so much fun. They don't lose any of the vegetables anymore. Oh, I hope you like that, Treasure. I love pumpkins, bright and orange. I love this orange dress too. I just like orange. It's a very cheerful colour. So, until next time, I'll see you then, Treasure.